Welcome to the second lecture in a sequence on a topic agricultural marketing. In our earlier lecture on the topic agricultural marketing, we discussed the concept of agricultural marketing and what is the actual problem which is related with the marketing process of agricultural produce as per as the Indian agricultural sector is concerned. Mostly the problem is that the middlemen in the agricultural sector deceives the farmers. The middlemen intervene in the process of buying and selling of agricultural produce, and the middlemen, they earn the margin out of agricultural marketing, or they earn the margin from intervening in the process of buying and selling of agricultural commodities. This is the basic problem which is related with the agricultural marketing that we discussed in our earlier lecture in detail. In this particular lecture, I am going to explain what are the problems which are related with the agricultural marketing. So let us start our discussion on the problems of agricultural marketing. The very first problem which is related with the agricultural marketing is about market information. Market information in the sense, basically the farmers are unaware with the market prices of their agricultural produce in the actual market. Because of the lack of access to the information, the farmers don't have an access to the internet, they don't have access to the actual market at the cities and at state and national level. Therefore they fail to understand the importance of the commodity, what the commodity they have produced in their agricultural sector. So therefore, because of the lack of market information, they do sell their commodity at the lower price to the middlemen. They do sell out their agricultural commodities at the farm level itself, at the village level itself, at the lower price. Because of the lack of information, the farmers are not in a position to earn maximum amount of profit or maximum amount of prices for his agricultural produce. This is the basic initial problem of agricultural marketing. The second problem is about lack of storage facilities. Basically the agricultural produce, they are seasonal commodities, and some of the agricultural commodities are non-durable goods. So in order to preserve these agricultural produce, the farmers needs storage facility. And basic problem with the Indian agricultural sector, basic problem with the farmers of India, they don't have their own storage facility. And because of the nature of non-durable commodities, the seasonal type of goods, immediately after harvesting, the farmers do supply these commodities to the market. They supply, whenever they supply to the market, the increasing supply will hamper the prices of the agricultural produce, will reduce the prices of the agricultural produce. Because of the lack of storage facilities, the farmers are not in a position to hold their commodities up to certain time period. Immediately after harvesting, they have to sell out their products in the market. And because of this policy, because of this particular problem, they don't get the price, the reasonable price for their agricultural produce. And in this particular process, they will sell out their agricultural commodities to the middlemen or to the mediators. The next problem is about transportation and communication. Because of the lack of transportation and communication facilities, the farmer will not get the proper information from the market. The farmer is not in a position to supply their agricultural produce to the mandis, to the cities, and to marketplaces because of the problem of transportation. And because of the problem of communication, he is not in a position to get the information from the market. This is the third problem related with agricultural marketing. The next problem is about the chain of intermediaries. Mostly the intermediaries do perform their job in the process of agricultural marketing. These intermediaries purchase the agricultural commodities from the farmers at the lower price, and they do sell these commodities at the higher prices in the market. The farmer, the producer itself is not in a position to determine the prices of their produce. Instead, the intermediaries determine the prices, market prices of agricultural produce. The consumer purchases the agricultural produce at higher price, and the producer sells these commodities to the intermediaries at the lower price, and they earn margin, they earn profit out of this margin. And in this way, these intermediaries, these middlemen, they do deceive the farmers in the process of buying and selling of agricultural produce. This is the fourth problem which is related with the process of agricultural marketing in India. The next problem is about farmers' indebtedness and limited financial resources. Due to lack of financial resources, the farmers are not in a position to purchase their own transportation facilities, to purchase various vehicles in order to make the transportation of the commodities. Apart from that, due to the lack of financial resources, the farmers are not in a position to construct their own storage facilities. They are not in a position to reach up to the marketplaces. Therefore, these limited financial resources creates an hindrance. It interrupts the farmers to reach up to the marketplaces. This is the next fifth problem we do observe in the process of agricultural marketing. The next problem is about lack of gradation and standardization. The farmers, after the harvesting, after the production of the produce, they do sell out their agricultural produce to the middlemen, or they do sell out the agricultural produce to the mediators without any gradation and standardization. The farmers in the rural area, even they don't understand the quality of their product. They do sell out the quality product at the lower price to these middlemen because of the lack of gradation and lack of standardization. They even doesn't understand the quality of their production and what the price they will get out of this quality production out of from the market. So due to the lack of the knowledge, lack of the standardization, they do sell out their agricultural produce at the lower price without knowing, without understanding the quality of their produce, without understanding the standardization of their product. This is the another problem. And next problem is limited institutional marketing setup. Institutional marketing setup in the sense the agency or the government agency is not working properly in the process of marketing of agricultural produce. It means limited institutional marketing setup is there in India. Limited institutional setup in the sense the government not interfering in the matter of or to sort out the matter of the problem of agricultural marketing. The government is not taking interest in order to sort out this problem of agricultural marketing. They are not the agency or the institution. Instead of middlemen or instead of mediator, any government agency is not working properly to sort out this issue or to sort out this problem. So therefore, the limited institutional marketing setup is the another problem of agricultural marketing. And the next is lack of farmers union. Basically, the farmers are considered as unorganized laborers. They are not very much organized in comparison to the workers who are working in the industries. At the state level, basically at the national level, the farmers don't have their strong unions in order to fight or in order to meet their demands. They don't have their unions very strong at the central level. They don't have their union very strong at the state level. So therefore, they fail to agitate with the government for the policy framework. And the next problem is lack of farmer accommodation at marketplaces. Most of the time what happens, the farmer goes to the marketplaces. Sometimes they visit to the marketplaces with their agricultural produce, and in the morning they do reach to the marketplace, and because of the lack of accommodation they don't stay at that marketplace, and immediately evening they will try to come out to their uh, home or to their villages. So because of the accommodation, lack of accommodation, in the from the morning to evening, the farmers try to sell out their agricultural produce at whichever prices they will get. At whatever the lower prices they will get, they sell out their agricultural produce immediately up to the evening time. They will not wait for the second day or some days by staying at that marketplaces, because they will not get any accommodation facilities at the marketplaces. So therefore they will unable to sell out their produce at the higher price level. And the last problem is malpractices at marketplaces. Mostly at the marketplaces at the city level, at the marketplaces, at the town places, at the town, the mediators will deceive. They do malpractices at that particular place. Malpractices means they do deceive the farmers. Sometimes they do use duplicate weights while measuring, while taking the measurement of the produce of agricultural commodities. So in this way, the malpractice is at the they prevails at the marketplaces, and they deceives the farmers, and this is one of the problems of agricultural marketing. So in this way, these are some important problems which are related with the process of agricultural marketing. These are the important issues which are creating problems in the buying and selling activities of agricultural produce. And mostly the farmer, the producer, they are not in a position to determine the prices of their commodities. Instead, some middlemen, they are determining the prices at the higher level, and they are selling, they are working as a mediator in this whole process. Now, after discussing the problems of the agricultural marketing, we will discuss about some of the remedial measures, some of the solutions in order to overcome this particular problem of agricultural marketing. So in the second part of this lecture, now let us start discussion on the remedial measures for the problem of agricultural marketing, or the solutions for the problems of agricultural marketing. what is required in order to solve the problems of agricultural marketing. At the first, we discuss about the effective transportation is one of the measures or one of the remedial measures or one of the solutions in order to solve the problem which is related with agricultural marketing. Effective transportation means the transportation facilities which can it will be possible for the farmers to reach up to the marketplaces and to sell out their agricultural produce to the actual consumers. So effective transportation will be the remedy. Because of this transportation facility, the farmer, the actual producer, can access to the market directly. They can come with their agricultural produce to the market. They can directly sell out their produce to the customers. So this effective transportation facilities will give the affordable prices, the reasonable prices to the farmers, to the producers. The second remedial measure, the second solution is warehousing and storage facilities. The government should make available the storage facilities and warehousing facilities in order to store the agricultural produce. In order to store the agricultural produce, it is very essential to provide warehousing and storage facilities to the producers, to the farmers, so that they can store their agricultural produce and they will supply the agricultural produce at the appropriate time, at the time when they will get reasonable prices for their commodities. So it is very essential to create the warehousing facility, to make available the storage facilities to the farmers. So this will be the second remedy. The third remedy is about gradation and standardization. For getting the reasonable price for the agricultural produce, in order to increase the income of the farmers, in order to increase the income of the producers, it is very essential to create or to make the classification of the commodities on the basis of quality. And gradation and standardization is essential. For example, the Agmark, through Agmark, the agency used to give some gradation, some standardization to the agricultural produce. So whenever the customer look at the commodities, they will, whenever the customer purchase these commodities, they will first look towards the standardization of these commodities. So when any of the agency, any government agency, when intervene in this process, they do provide gradation and standardization to the products, then definitely the agricultural produce will get a reasonable, will be sold at the reasonable price, and it will definitely benefit to the farmers. And next solution is about market information. In order to increase the income of the farmer, in order to increase the income of the producer of the agricultural commodities, it is required to provide him the proper market information through various channels, through newspapers like Agrovan is the newspaper, Amchi Mati, Amchi Mansa is the program which is organized by Doordarshan in order to provide various types of information to the farmers. Nowadays, the internet access, through internet access, the farmers will get authentic information of various markets at the national and international level. So through this marketing information, through the process of market information, definitely the farmer will be benefited, the producer will be benefited. The next measure is about standard weights. Nowadays we can see in the market, instead of the conventional weights, uh, the uh, the electronic weights are used while selling the commodities at the city places, at the town. the farmers will not be deceived at all because of the use of the standard weights. Mostly we do see while making the malpractices in this particular process, the middlemen used to deceive the farmers while making the weight of their produce. They used to deceive the farmers, but the standard weights, it is the one of the remedial solution in order to overcome the problem, in order to overcome this particular malpractice in the market. The next is establishment of special boards will also serve the particular purpose. The central government set up number of development councils for special commodities like rice, pulses, cotton, tobacco, oilseeds, sugarcane, etc. For these particular commodities, in order to make the marketing process of these particular commodities, government established some special boards, so it will uh, helpful to the farmers. The next remedy is about the export promotion. Indian agricultural exports include pulses, rice, wheat, tobacco, sugar, poultry, dairy products, spices, cashew nuts, sesame, groundnut, and related commodities. So, in the export, overall export of agricultural, overall export of the country, the agricultural produce plays a very important role. So government should intervene in the matter, and in this particular export promotion, the government is playing a very important role as far as the export of agricultural produce is concerned. So through the export or export promotion, definitely the producer of the particular commodity will get reasonable prices and he will be in a position to increase the overall income. The next solution is future trading. The future trading is also very essential in order to solve the problems which are related with agricultural marketing. And the next one is government purchase and support price. In order to solve the problem of agricultural marketing, government purchase plays an important role. The interference of the government instead of middlemen, the interference of the government is very essential in order to solve the problem of agricultural marketing. The government purchase gives a reasonable price to the produce of agricultural commodities. And the support price, there are different varieties of price which the government determines for the agricultural commodities. So one of the price is support price. So the government should give a minimum, or they should declare some minimum support price to the agricultural produce. Then it will definitely improves the position of agricultural marketing in the country. The next measure we can suggest is about agricultural price stabilization policy. Mostly the Indian agriculture depends upon the gamble of monsoon. Because of this gamble of monsoon, the prices of agricultural commodities continuously fluctuates. When supply increase, the prices will fall. When supply declines, the prices will increase. So because of this gamble of monsoon, the supply increases and supply decreases, and it will affect the prices of agricultural commodities. This position will fluctuate the prices of agricultural produce in the market. So whenever the prices falls in the market, the producer will not get the proper income due to the lower prices. So there should be a mechanism which should stabilize the prices of agricultural commodities. So definitely this price stabilization policy will help the producers, will definitely increase the income of the producer. So therefore it is one of the remedies of marketing process of agricultural commodities. The next is regulated market. Regulated market means the market of agricultural commodities should be regulated by certain mechanism. It should be regulated by government authority, or it should be regulated by the cooperative marketing system, so that the middlemen will not deceive, will not play a major role in the marketing process of agricultural commodities. Next is cooperative marketing. Cooperative marketing means the farmers themselves comes together for performing the marketing activity of agricultural commodities. They do create their own organizations for marketing process. The farmers do create their own cooperative societies. Through these cooperative societies, they do conduct, or they are in a position to conduct the marketing activity of the agricultural produce. Next one, use of ICT in agriculture. Use of information communication technology. In order to get the information, in order to get the access of the markets, the farmers are in a position to find out the marketplaces at the national and international level for their agricultural produce. Through internet they will get this through internet access, they will get this particular information. To various TV channels, to various through various programs, the farmers are in a position to get this information. And the government agency, cooperative marketing societies, they can disseminate the information up to the customers through media, through information technology. These organizations, they can disseminate the information to the farmers. In that sense, the information communication technology plays an important role to solve the problem which is related with agricultural marketing. And the last point is about a strengthened farmer union. It is required to strengthen the union of the farmers in order to solve the problems of the producers, or solve the problems of the farmers. So in this way, these are some points which are related with the solutions or remedial measures of the for the problems of agricultural marketing. So in this way, in this particular lecture, initially I explained what are the current problems of agricultural marketing and what will be the remedial solutions to overcome these problems. Thus, I stop here in this particular lecture. Thank you.